And we're back. We've enjoyed that lovely bottle of sparkling wine from South Africa, champagne traditional method, and we've been sitting out enjoying the spring day, and now we're back. We're moving on to the second of the lockdown wines, and Andre's going to introduce it and explain why it makes this lockdown lineup.
Exactly, thanks Chris. So this is the Kloof. They have a landscape series, so essentially higher end of their wines. This is called Elodie, Chenin Blanc. South Africa's, that's the by far the most grown grape in South Africa is Chenin Blanc.
White, out of white and red?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And South Africa has by far of New World countries the most old vine Chenin, and that is partly historical, and which is today creating wonderful opportunities, I think, for winemakers to really kind of make single terroir wines like this. Now, very interesting. Kloof comes from an area. It was actually originally a canola farm. So they used to farm. We used to drive past it as a child all the time.
Really?
I know it exactly. I saw it kind of develop over the years. The winemaker is Peter Allen from Crystallum Farm, which famous kind of Pinot Noir producers, and this particular wine is actually, they're buying the grapes from two sites. One in a place called Durbanville, and the kind of the vines come from 1975, and the second one is from the Swartland, place called Nuwe Dam, which translates to New Dam, from 1974. Did I say 74? 74, 75 is the one. So the Kontermanskloof 75, Swartland 74. But very special about this is it's the kind of dry bush, so they actually don't irrigate it, which is really unusual for South African wine farming. So it's a little bit that French thing, where you have to. The vines have to fight for all the water they can get. I think you can taste it. It doesn't have that kind of luscious fruit that you'd get in some of the other South African Chenins.
That's what I wanted to dive into just before we move to taste. Is my benchmark for South African Chenin is Beaumont, and I find that a clean, crisp. It's kind of got everything a bit. I think it's because it's got the fruit and it's got the tropical flavors, but it's got great body, but it's overall clean and quite acidic. Should I be expecting something much fuller bodied or much softer or much less acidic because of the old vine nature?
Good question. So just on geography, as the crow flies, Beaumont is probably 20 kilometers from where Kloof is. You could call them neighbors, but look very different. Although these vines, the grapes come from completely different areas. I think it's interesting because I think and maybe I'm kind of influenced by what the winemaker says about this, but I think you can almost taste how the kind of struggle, the fight here, for these vines. It's harder in a way. It is kind of strong, almost feels more mature than it is. It's 2018, so relatively young.
Oh, wow.
But also in the color, you can already see in the color, beautiful golden
looks like
color.
a much older.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of I get like peachy, that kind of peachy fruit on it. Let's have a taste.
Let's have a taste. That to me instantly is quite different.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting is there's an earthiness to it, and a little bit of a woodiness to it, which can often be wood and wine. That's terrible, but I mean that absolutely in a good way.
Yeah.
It's got real backbone. It's real.
It does.
It's not steely backbone, but it's got a real sort of rod running through it.
Yeah. And I do find that it's got quite an extended palate, right? So it get kind of just lingering there.
Incredible Melba and melon.
Yeah.
And citrus on the back on the palate.
Yes.
As you say. I'm also intrigued. Say the name one more time.
Kloof.
So for those non-South Africans here watching this video, the name is actually Gabriel's Cliff.
Yeah.
So Gabriel is an angel from the Bible. It's maybe somebody's name, but what's a kloof?
Kloof is a gorge.
Okay.
So you can imagine probably biblical connotation in terms of Gabriel and then this gorge.
Right.
So Gabriel's Kloof is a kloof is a gorge.
Interesting. Let's give it one more slurp. Quite leggy as well.
Yeah.
Reasonable legs. What's the alcohol?
13%. And the other thing I wanted to mention, so very, very small production. This is 4,000 bottles. So, it's a small production, very, very site specific. And I think just a completely different take on Chenin, South African Chenin,
I need to spend significant time off camera tasting this wine, but I'm blown away, actually. Yeah. I mean, this is a bit of an experience for me, and I'm now worried because I love the Beaumont. I'm really invested in it, but this stuff is just it's fair. It's quite unique, I think, certainly in terms of my tasting, and it's immediately fabulous. And I cannot believe that this wine is from 2018, 3 years old. That's mind blowing.
That is, and just back to the lockdown theme, it's great to share it because that's one of the ones I was like on Zoom, Chris, this is great. Guys, you like it? So it's fantastic to be able to share it.
Cheers.
Cheers.